fourth graders, welcome back to music lessons in my living room. And today I want to teach you guys about the difference between a tie and a slur. So I'm going to use this blank piece of paper and this pencil to kind of show you the difference between a tie and a slur. They look very similar, if not the same, but kind of have to use your music detective skills to be able to tell whether it is a tie or a slur. So a tie is when you tie two notes together. So I'm gonna draw here this quarter note, and let's say I want this quarter note to be a half note. Say I want it to be a longer note. So I could put another quarter note and then put a tie underneath them. Now these two quarter notes are tied together, making them the same as if you were to put a half note. So this equals this. You could even tie together maybe a half note with a quarter note. We could tie those two together. Now, what note would that equal? If you think it equals a dotted half note, you would be right, because when you put the dot at the end of a note, that adds half the value. This is 3 beats, and this is 2 beats. So that means this is 2 beats, and this is 3 beats. So a tie is this curved line that ties two notes together. You can also put a tie above the notes like this. You may also see a tie above the notes. Now a slur, you could see between 2 notes, or you could see them between 3 notes. So I'll draw 2 different examples of that. Both of these would be a slur. So notice this note is a little higher than this note. So if you're putting a slur between notes, they're usually going to be notes that are on different pitches, because a slur is not the same as a tie. A slur means that you're going to be slurring those notes together. So playing them smoothly. Maybe you know the word legato. If not, we're learning it right now. So you might see a slur above the notes, and that might mean to play them legato, so smooth and connected. So we're going to learn a little bit more about this by kind of composing a melody together. So grab your own blank piece of paper and a pencil, hit pause, and come and join me on the table. So now that we have our pencil and our paper out, we are going to start by drawing a staff. And if you have trouble drawing straight lines, you can always get a ruler or maybe a book like this and just draw right along the edge there. So I'm going to start here at the beginning with, like we always do, with a clef. So we'll use a treble clef So starting on the G line, we make it hook over and around, go up and down like that. And since we were just learning more about writing in 3/4 time, let's put our time signature as 3/4 today. So that means 3 beats in a measure, and that a quarter note equals 1 beat. So let's start writing a melody. So I'm going to start with a quarter note on G, and then a quarter note here on A, and then we'll put, well, let's say I want to put a half note here. What would be the problem if this is my first measure and I have a quarter note, and a half note? Now, if you said there are too many beats in this measure, you are right, because in 3/4 time, we can only put 3 beats in a measure. We have 3 notes, which we learned last week is not the same as 3 beats. So this is 1 beat, that's 1 beat, so this plus this is 2, and then this note is 2 beats. So we can't have 2 beats and then 1 beat plus 1 beat, that equals 4. We need to have 3 beats in a measure. But let's say you're a composer and you want these 2 quarter notes to be followed by a long 2-beat note. You can still do that, but you have to use a tie. So what we're going to do is turn this into a quarter note. So now we have 3 beats, and then we'll make the next quarter note right here on the same line, and we will tie them together. Now ties can only be on the same line or the same space. They have to be the same note, because that means we're just holding it over. So we're holding this note over the bar line so that this will equal the same as a half note. So now let's make our melody do, let's see here. I'm gonna put a note up here, and then when we put notes above this middle line, this middle B line, we make the stem go downward, and that means we have to draw the note stem on the other side, so on the left side of the note. So I'm gonna put a quarter note here, and then a quarter note here, and then now we have 1, 2, 3 notes, so we have to put a bar line because we cannot have more than 3 beats in one measure when we have 3/4 time. So now, let's say I want to put, I'm just gonna put some more quarter notes. Here, and I want these quarter notes to be played smoothly or legato. So I'm going to put a slur over the top. Now what I mean by playing legato or smoothly is instead of playing ta, 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 maybe we would go ta, ah. So now that I've composed my little song, I'm going to put 2 lines on the end. When we put 2 lines on the end, that means that it's the end of the song and we are finished. So if I'm going to sing this song, I'll sing this song on Lou. This is how the song would go with the tie and the slur. Lou, 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 lou. Now let me go ahead and erase the tie and erase the slur. I'm going to sing this song as if there was no tie and no slur, and see if you can tell the difference. Loo, 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 loo. If you noticed that these two were not connected and these were separated, like loo, 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 then good ears. This with a slur would be loo, very smooth and connected. But without the slur, it would be loo, loo, loo. So with the slur, loo. Without the slur, loo, loo, loo. Now with the tie, this would be loo, loo, loo. So like a long note. Loo, 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 loo. I went a little bit too fast over here. But let's all sing this together. Sing this with me, including our tie here. I almost called it a slur. This tie and the slur over here. Loo, 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 loo. Now let's try together without the slur and without the tie. So on the count of 3, we're going to sing it without any slur or tie. Loo, 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 loo. Now let's bring that tie and the slur back, because I think the song sounds a little bit nicer with those things in there. So let's sing that together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Loo, 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 loo. Now that we've written down and sung my example here, I want you guys to, on your own, make another staff. And don't forget, you can use the edge of a book or a ruler to make your lines. We're going to put our double bar line at the end. And then here, put our clef, our treble clef, and then put your 3/4 time signature. And you guys are going to make 3 measures. So 1, 2, 3 measures. Don't forget 5 lines on a staff. You always start with your treble clef, your time signature. We're going to do it in 3/4 time. Bar lines to separate your 1, 2, 3 measures. And then double bar line goes at the end of the song. And you can write using, how about we only for this, for a very simple melody, only use quarter notes, half notes, rests, and if you really want to include a TT in there, you guys can use a TT, but let's just keep the rhythm simple and only use these notes. Now when you write your melody, I want you to make sure and include 1 tie over a bar line somewhere and a slur in your song. Well, 4th grade, I hope that you guys have more of a better understanding of the difference between ties and slurs, and you learned something new today. Have fun writing your melody. I wrote a new one myself, and I've included 1 slur and 1 tie, just like I've instructed you to do. I hope you've had fun learning today and have a good day. Bye, fourth graders.